Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine at home. We are finished with the first semester exams. Now we will be starting with the course of our second semester, that is Social Science History lesson number 5. The first 4 chapters we did in our first sem. So students, the name of chapter is In Search of Peace, Buddha and Mahavir. Now here students, the introduction of this chapter tells us about some of the points from our previous chapters. So first, in the 6th century BC, many reforms were carried out by various reformers. Some reforms were done in religious sectors, some reforms were done in social sectors. Those we already did in our first semester. Now there were many reformers who fought against social evils. Now which were the social evils which we studied? We had dowry system, then we had untouchability, caste system, etc. We all did these things in the first sem. So now we will continue with the next topic, that is how these social inequalities and immoralities were removed. Removal of all these things by various reformers. In this chapter, we have 2 main reformers. They are the main ones, Lord Buddha and Lord Mahavir. First we will study about Lord Buddha. So now we will study about the first reformer in this chapter, that is Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha, we can study about him and about the religion established by him, that is Buddhism, from the Jatak Katha and Buddhist texts. The Buddhist texts are known as Tripitaka. What are they known as? They are known as Tripitaka. Examples here are Sukta Pitak, Vinay Pitak and Abhidham Pitak. These are some of the names of the texts of Buddhism. There are 550 Jatak stories which are associated with the pre-birth of Buddha. Students, here the word pre-birth means before the birth of Buddha. What all happened in the society? All those things, incidents are mentioned in the form of stories in the Jatak Kathas. 550 Jatak stories are there. Now, Lord Buddha was born in the kingdom of Kapilvastu. Where is Kapilvastu? We already did this place in the first semester. In the foothills of the Himalayas while going towards Nepal. And the people who lived there, Kshatriyas, they were known as Shakyas. We already had the names of republics. In that, we studied about the Shakyas of Kapilvastu. So, Kapilvastu is a republic state. We already know that. Republic means they followed a system of democracy. So, the Shakyas of Kapilvastu were also very well-known people. Now, the head of this republic state of Kapilvastu was Shuddhodana. He was the head of the state and his wife's name was Maya Devi. His wife's name was Maya Devi. Buddha was born in this family. His father's name was Shuddhodana and his mother's name was Maya Devi. He was born in 556 BC. His childhood name was Siddharth. Before going for this religious way, his childhood name was Siddharth. His mother died a few days after the birth of Buddha. That is, after the few days of birth of Siddharth, his mother died. Due to which he was brought up or nurtured by his foster mother, whose name was Gautami Mahaprajapati. She brought him up lovingly in his childhood due to the death of his mother. Now next to Kapilvastu, there was a monastery. Now students, here monastery means place where monks of Buddhism live, of Saint Alara Kalam. Now he was the guru of Buddha. He used to visit there often and at a young age, he began to acquire knowledge from this guru. He often went there to meditate in his ashram and he always spoke about education and he always wanted to imbibe knowledge in his life. Now, due to this habit of his father was worried whether my son will now become a monk or not, because he always discussed and talked only about knowledge, things of knowledge, wisdom and samadhi. Here it means meditation, that is leaving all worldly things. So his father was worried about Siddharth. His father decided to marry him off at a young age. He was married at a very young age. His wife's name was Yashodhara and his son's name was Rahul. Now this person, Siddharth, lived for some years with his family. But in his mind he had the thought that I want to search for truth. So he thought of an idea. So in this topic we'll see his home, sacrifice and sadhana. Here the heading itself is very clear, students. It means how he left his home and how he started his meditation. At the age of 30 years, he thought of renouncing. Renouncing means leaving off, setting aside his royal family and state of Republic Kapil Vastu, that is, and became a hermit. Here hermit means, students, what? Saint. He wanted to become a saint. So he stepped out of his royal family and he began to search for truth. So what did he do? One night he took his charioteer. Charioteer means the one who rides the chariot of horses. His name was Channa. His charioteer's name was Channa and his horse name was Kanthak. He took the horse as well as the charioteer along with him. He went to the river bank outside his state. He went outside his state to a river bank and there he left his royal attire. Students, here the word royal attire means whatever princely garments, clothes he was wearing, he left all those and all his royal jewelry, everything, all the ornaments, he gave to Channa the charioteer and ordered him to take all these things, his royal clothes, that is attire, jewelry, and also Kanthak the horse along with him and leave for the palace. He ordered him. So Channa did as told. He left the place along with the royal attire of Siddharth, his jewelry and the horse Kanthak, and left for the palace. So he began to think of leaving all these things aside and he wore the ascetic clothes. Students, here ascetic clothes means clothes of a hermit, of a sage. And he walked towards the jungle. Why? To attain sadhana, for meditation. He left home, walked towards Rajgre. We already saw these places in the first semester, Rajgre. And then from there towards Puruvela. Then he started doing penance, meditation. Leaving aside all worldly matters, he did penance with 5 Brahmins. And he had one philosophy in his mind, that giving up food and water will not yield any knowledge to me. All these are futile things, worthless things. So he wanted to attain the path of self-consciousness and desire, which should be the main duty of every human being. Giving up food and water is not a solution. So he thought of leaving these 5 Brahmins. So he left those 5 Brahmins and went in towards the jungle to do penance alone. He left them and did penance alone in the jungle. He sat under a peepal tree at a place called Bodh Gaya and he began to search for truth and enlightenment, that is knowledge, self-realization. After many days of sadhana or meditation, he attained this enlightenment on the day of Vaishak Poonam or Vaishak Purnima. And from that day onwards, he was known as the Buddha. From Siddharth, his name was changed to Buddha. The Buddha meaning of Buddha is the conscious one or the wise one or the knowledgeable one. After that, he was known as Gautam Buddha. So here we come to know how Buddha left his royal family, or Siddharth left his royal family, everything he left and began to search for truth, enlightenment, and was known as Gautam Buddha or Lord Buddha. Now in the next video we will be studying about the reforms of Buddha and what all were the different things he did for the society.